After last week, there seemed to be a couple of consistent questions, so I wanted to point out some things on my Moodle page that help you guys to get your questions answered and figure out what's going on. So today, basically, you're just catching up on anything you didn't finish from last week. If you do catch up, then you have the option to work on vocab. You'll have a vocab quiz on Friday. Or you can work on your project, or you can move forward to tomorrow's assignment if the worksheet for tomorrow is available. So the first thing I want to show you is that right up here is where your ecoregion project information will be. That will be updated a little bit later on this week, so kind of be looking for some new developments in this area. But what I really wanted to show you is that the majority of the work for this week is already outlined for you. Today and tomorrow's folder, Tuesday, are totally complete. Wednesday and Thursday still need a little bit of information to be added to them, but for each day I'll have a video like this that takes you through the instructions, so in an effort to limit some of the questions that we had from last week. Also, right here where it says Mrs. Familetti's absence question and answers, April 16th through 20th. This is a forum, and when you click on it, you have a couple of options, but you can go to this discussion, how to ask and answer a question, and you can ask questions. It should give you the opportunity to also post a question yourself. I may need to change this, but you can start your own topic, or you can answer or look at topics that already exist. All right, so for today, what you're going to do is you're going to click on today's folder, and you'll notice that it's largely the same information from last week. To clarify, last week you had 2 grades. You had your C notes and anchor chart, and you were supposed to turn copies of your C notes and anchor chart in on Google Classroom. So when you have both of those things done in your journal, you'll just take a picture of them. You'll click right here on Google Classroom and turn them in, turn in those photos, and I'll give you a grade based on that, and that's due today. So if you don't turn it in today, it's going to be a late grade. Make sure you get that turned in today. The C notes are pretty self-explanatory. There is the digital lesson, and there's also Google Slides notes right here, so that you can use those as resources to help you to get your questions answered as best as you can. The anchor chart I had several people with additional questions, and I'll go over that in just a second. And then your second grade is an Edpuzzle, so don't forget about that. Right here is the link to Edpuzzle. It's the Watershed Edpuzzle. So make sure you go through that video. It's a quick video, like 15 minutes, and it has questions associated with it. So as you go through the video, answer the questions. Pretty straightforward. Again, the question I had the thing I had most of the questions about was about the anchor chart. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the link for that. In the anchor chart, you were supposed to create your own hand-drawn infographic, and you are supposed to use all of the vocab words on here. The slideshow goes into it a little bit more detail and gives you some examples. So again, these are the vocab words that you're supposed to use. That means you need to have a picture of these things on your infographic. All of these things pictured and labeled. If you are on level, you can omit up to 3. Pre-AP, you can omit 1. If you have to omit 2, then you'll still get a decent grade, but 1 is the preferred number of things that you can leave out. All of these are good examples to start with. But if you copy any of these examples that I included in here, they're all missing at least 1 or 2 of the vocab words. So these are just several different examples that between all of these examples, every single one of the vocab words is shown. But you have to create your own version of one of these infographics that has all of these vocab words identified and labeled. Again, it should be your own picture that you hand drew. So I know you're not artists. This is an art class. I'm not giving giving you a grade based on how pretty your picture is, but it does need to use color and it does need to have each one of these things depicted. If you have any questions about that, you can ask me a question on Remind, or you can post a question to the forum. Hopefully that clears up any issues that you had from last week. Again, your anchor chart is due today, as well as your C notes. Your Edpuzzle won't be due until tomorrow, so if you don't get that finished in class today, you can do it as homework this evening, and it shouldn't take you very long. Hopefully you're finished with one of those 2 assignments at this point, though. I hope you have a great day in class. See you next week.